Well, guys, welcome back to this super official, super professional broadcast here for Copa America. This is, of course, Season 2, and this is another qualifying match. Despite how bad Tempo and I may be doing tonight, I hope you guys are having a great time.
We're doing great. We're doing just great.
Having a great time.
Great.
Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time convincing people we are actually legitimately sober for this. Kind of the sad thing. But when you're with a buddy that you enjoy spending time with, guys, you get a little bit goofy. And I haven't cast with Tempo in God knows how long, so I'm having a good time.
Experience.
Yeah. Well, not weeks, but spawning. I always screwed this up. I had a great pun for that. I already threw it out the window. Spawning on the top right corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Zerg player from Chaos Latin Gamers. My honor to introduce Daze.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom left corner. Trying to win this, of course, because this is a qualifying match from GJLTG. It is Kelazhur.
The Great Justice League Tower Defense.
Is that really what it is?
I don't know.
I think it could be.
It could be now because it sounds really cool, right?
I like it. If it's not, then I'm going to have to
It's freaking
encourage them
sweet.
to change their name.
It's freaking wicked sick, kid. You know?
That's sick, kid.
All right. So here's the thing, guys. This being another qualifying match, Kelazhur. I want to stress this again. The first season, I think a lot of people kind of thought it was a little bit of a joke. He's not a bad player. It's not like this guy's in Silver League or anything like that. He got hucked on. You know, you come against Huck, he's gonna make anybody look like a silly Billy. But Daze, I'm a little bit worried for Kelazhur once again, though, because here he is in Copa America. He's in his qualifying match. Instead of getting Huck this time, he gets a player named Daze. Now, Daze is somebody you guys probably don't know a lot about. I don't know a lot about, but I look at his clan tag immediately, and it's the Chaos Latin Gamers I fall in love with the easiest. You got your GM Risings and amongst others, and they've always had this really solid playstyle where it's I would say borderline Korean almost with the aggression, but it seems like all of these guys have the weirdest macro games, anything but standard. So for Daze, I'm really excited to meet this guy here right now. And this is, it's not the same as Red Bull where they were putting a lot of emphasis on the unknown players, but it is nice to see the introduction to players we don't know a lot about.
Yeah, the you said it, the bracket, if you do check it out, you can click on each name and get a whole little bio thing going on. Got a picture and everything, and yeah, it's pretty interactive. It's pretty cool stuff, man.
Let's actually put some emphasis on that for a moment. We got the Reaper opening, sure, whatever. I will stress that because this is actually cross spawns, this is not a bad situation for either of these players. But yeah, if you guys go to the Copa America brackets, what's fantastic, the Copa America team put so much effort into this. You know, between the map introductions and the quality on the, outside the stream, one of the big things they do on the brackets, if you click a player, it's got their full bio. It shows their stats in Copa America, their win percentages, their age, their name, where they're from, all these wonderful facts about them. So you can learn more about any of these players by checking out their Copa America page through the brackets.
Yeah, always good to, that drone almost died, but yeah, always good to, you know, have that little sense of, what does it say? You know, feeling a little bit in tune with the players more, knowing a little bit more about them. As very more. Yeah, I would agree. And that's with anything, and it's great that his tournament would do that as well. But second Reaper, the Brave Ling is not going to be surviving.
No, actually, hang on, this is a little bit surprising to me. Not only of the second Reaper, but I believe a third Reaper just popped out. And
yes.
You know, we're really starting to see this fall out of favor because the Reapers have got potential, but they require a lot of attention, a lot of micromanagement. It's not fun to deal, like, if you can snowball this actually snowballs really quickly and can sometimes win you the game straight up versus Zerg, but usually now Zerg players are so good at defending against Reapers, this third one doesn't bring a whole lot extra to the party. So having earlier Hellions, earlier Banshees...
The laser Hellions, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, you see that, right? Wow, that's a bold move if I've ever seen one before.
A third command center for a Terran player is perfectly fine, but a third command center on location is so ballsy.
It's very ballsy, especially with speed fit. Oh no, if speed were to finish, I don't believe that Daze did go for it though. I think he opened gasless.
Well, that's kind of a big deal because Kelazhur didn't. He saw one gas come down in the main, so he's not evaluating the speed time into this. But this makes that third Reaper a little more viable, and he still doesn't need to leave. You know, standard timing is 6 minutes. Get the hell out of the base because speed's finishing.
Yeah. Well, he's just gonna go for it anyway. I mean, there are no Lings on the way. Lair with the first 100 gas. Well, a little bit later, but these Reapers are actually gonna be a bit of a threat if these Queens aren't able to always deal with them.
Yeah, I think at this point,
diving board.
This
now it's too many. Gasless is very safe against it, especially with the later Hellions. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna steal that term now, Tempo. I never saw this as a diving board before. totally gonna be using that. Yo, hey, fun fact: I'm actually banned from our local swimming pool.
No way.
Because
Why?
of a
What did you
diving
do?
board related incident.
Oh God.
When
What did you do?
when I was younger, I received a lifetime ban because I learned that. Okay, so you know when you hop off the diving board, it's like you jump up, bounce, and then go into the water. I found out that if you held the bounce down and tried to push into the board before releasing, kind of like using your legs like a spring, it would cause huge recoil on the board. So you go in the water, it would sound like thunder, because it would flip back 90 degrees and then slam back down. And apparently that was not okay.
Troublemaking. Wow,
Well, that was
really, man.
That was my third strike. I was a punk, yo. The other thing I did, I was
badass, Billy Badass over here.
this one's a little bit more. I'm more proud of this one in an embarrassing way. I was a poor kid growing up. I actually couldn't afford a bathing suit that fit me. So what I had was these sort of beige shorts, but they weren't swimmer. They were shorts. So I'd wear like this oversized bathing suit my dad had over top of it. And I was getting mouthy with this lifeguard, and I took off my bathing suit and threw it at him, so it looked like I was naked in the pool. That was strike 2, by the way, prior to the diving board incident. So that's why I've got a bit of a ban rocking on over here. But
oh man.
Yo,
I don't even know what strike 1 was. Yeah, man.
Strike 1 was something dumb like running at the side of the pool. I don't remember. It wasn't a big deal. But it's strikes 2 and 3 that were like, yo, I'm so done with this place. I don't care anymore.
Yep.
But Hatchery completes at the third. Bring us back to the game. There's roaches out. We got a Banshee of the way. But the thing, well, the Burrow's cool, but what's really important for Kelazhur is he can't afford to lose these. Normally you throw the Hellions away and get a kill or 2. But he's got the armor, he's so close to finishing. If he lets these live until Hellbats are out, they're 10 times more effective.
Yes. With that Banshee support as well, it's very important to keep your Hellions alive. And usually, oh my god, you know.
That's a huge
the
loss.
Banshee goes down for no reason, really, at all.
But you know what?
I think he was a little bit more concerned about this counterattack here from Daze.
Yeah, I mean, there's a saving grace in the fact that he's going mech behind this. Tanks are coming. But he doesn't have a full wall off. And the third base.
Units.
Well, he's got some units coming. It's not a lot of roaches, but the third base is exposed. So even if there is a full wall off, you can't bunker in with your tanks. The roaches will go to the third. I don't know why they're not. There we go. He's finally realized, wait a minute, that is actually a third this early.
Exactly.
Who does this? And that Burrow kicking in really nicely.
This one Banshee is going to have to be able to hold this because there's 2 Siege tanks out now, Riff, so yeah.
I think Daze is just going to break through.
Right. Oh, these SCVs are just trying to hold, not even repairing. They're just holding the line. Yeah. And the tanks are going to be able to ward it back, even forcing... Oh, this is so big. Forcing the third to not be able to mine, especially when you're going for mech. You want to be in as many gases as you can.
100% agree, but also you need to be saturated. His other bases aren't saturated.
Yeah, the Banshees, only at 37 SCVs.
The Banshees will 100% clean this up. You got tank fire behind this. He's going for mech for the slow game, so... This is actually tolerable. If this was bio, this would be a huge, devastating loss to take. So, I mean, he's going to be able to play that super defensive game. We've seen players like Goody, like Avilo. I don't want to reference a ton of mech players because there's really not that many. But the thing is, he's going to have to play the more, and this is, guys, I'm not taking a shot at the North American scene with this, but it's true. He's playing the more North American style of mech, where you turtle up hardcore and then go out. When you watch Koreans do mech, they get the Thors and the Hellbats wicked fast with the Banshees, and they push hard. I'm saying wicked like I'm from Jersey today, but...
I was going to say, right?
It's like, I think it's like the 5th time I said that. But the point is, like, you get aggressive before Swarm Hosts get out, before Mutalisks really get out. However, the fact that he's forced to play like this, his Raven's coming out early. This says he's banking up energy, which means he's not going to be pushing soon. He's throwing down barracks.
He put the third again, though. Because of that Burrowed Roach, he doesn't even want to send use a scan. He's like, you know what?
The third, I agree, that's weird, but look what's going on in the base.
Oh, whoa!
Is he transitioning back into bio? I mean, if he starts stim now, there's a biomech blend that we've seen a lot of players both in Korea and Europe start using. I don't think I've really seen anyone use this to any success in North America. And if this is the case, much respect to Kelazhur.
But I don't even know, like, he's gonna upgrades. They're gonna be really far behind. He hasn't even started +1 on bio yet, I don't believe, and he only has 1 engineering bay. So maybe he's just going for the really late. I don't even know what to make of this, Riff.
Oh, okay, he's got vision of this. He's got to know this is coming down. If this turret wasn't here, he might not see this.
Yep. Just in time, we'll be able to get those Siege tanks in position, and the Banshee should be able to push it back. But that turret is a hero turret right there. Even the SCV standing there.
This distracts from that third.
Yep.
It's like the Kansas City Shuffle. Whoa, that's a bit of a mistake.
Wow, I didn't know
you look left and they go right. It's the Kansas City Shuffle. And that's exactly what happens. Roaches do get in here, however, the tanks hold very nicely. And that could have got much worse. Had Kelazhur dedicated too much to the right side, that left side base would have been, quite frankly, annihilated. But holds strong, and this is the beauty of mech, guys. And I say beauty very lightly here, because when you do go mech, you open yourself to a lot more weaknesses than when you're playing bio. But also, you kind of are forced to death ball. For those who don't know what I mean by death balls, you just kind of, you get this 200 max, A move and go. And if it doesn't win you the game, you're probably not going to remax.
And I mean, this fourth timing feels really late, of course, here for days. I feel like when you play against mech, if you do look at mech and say, oh, that's what I'm playing against, you want to be greedy as hell and get as many gases as you can and just pretty much expand over. But like you were saying, I guess like if it was a Korean style, it's a little bit more scary to do so.
Yeah. What I really like out of Daze too, by the way, he's recognized this as mech and he started to just take a lot of bases. This is a fantastic move because
there he goes.
Yeah, the mobility of mech is his greatest weakness, and that's again coming back to the whole death ball point. But if you just take a lot of bases, not only is it going to bolster your economy, you'll have creep spread out further. It gets to that point where you'll have creep on your opponent's side of the map and they can't expand. 3 bases is comfortable. 4 bases is necessary for a Terran player doing this style.
Yeah. It's very important too, like, if you look at the minerals, you know, he's really, excuse me, the minerals for Daze, oh, those Banshees are going to get taken out here, but I was going to say the minerals for Daze is, you know, they're so high, but it's because he's limited by gas. When you're going against mech, you don't want to just make Lings like, oh, well, my money's high, better just max out on Lings.
This is hilarious, because I think it was like sometime last year, you and I accidentally met on ladder. I was trying to snipe you and then gave up on sniping you, and then we ran into each other, and you made the right moves, and this is what I always talk about in games, where if you come against a mech player, guys, air is usually the way to go, either by mass muta or through broodlords later on. You can try and break this with ultras, and there are some players who have actually done it with great success. But if you're going to make roaches into this, like we see Daze continually doing here, you're probably not going to have a good time. I like the choice to go for the tunneling claws, but he saw the Raven out so early. Did this get sniped off? Wait, actually, hang on. If he sniped off the Raven, that's different. He did snipe off the Raven.
Whoa, really? Yeah. I didn't even see it do anything, though. Maybe just was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was probably the
I don't know when.
But,
yeah.
Unloading some blue flame Hellbats here. Not a bad move. This is kind of like an old school drop that goes down, but the problem with the Hellbats is their AI is kind of crappy. What he's done, though, to make up for this, and this is what I really like out of Kelazhur, he's controlling with combination hold position and target fire. Because what happens here, guys, if you've never tried to experience this, they'll auto-attack on the thing that's attacking you, and that's the queen. So they'll ignore the drones. You'll drop them in the drone line, and they'll be like, ha, you're going to go for that queen instead. So actually ends up getting quite a few workers fried with that.
Yeah, I'm wondering here, though, I wonder if Daze is a little confused. He flew in an Overseer, I believe, or his mutas, and there was a bunch of Marines there to ward him away. He's like, what? You're making Marines, too? But the thing here is that he's going to try to do this in a different style than we usually see. Not going to go for that Muta Swarm Host. He's like going Roaches, Ultras, Hydras, and maybe we get some Vipers? I don't know.
The Ultras are actually a really big deal. They're not going to have the damage because they don't have the upgrades. The Roaches and Hydras are going to be the DPS for this. But for those who don't know, Ultras are the one unit in the game that are so big enough they actually encompass any splash that hits them. So for example, if you've got an Ultra surrounded very tightly by Hydras and the Ultra gets shot with a tank, the Hydras don't take the splash damage. So that's very specifically what makes them good at breaking these lines. They will get shredded to bits by a tank line, don't get me wrong, but as we see going on here, what really needs to be added into this is Vipers. Comes in a little bit too early, gives away a lot of supply. He kills the one Thor standing, but there's Marines with Stim underneath this. Don't forget, guys, Kelazhur's transferring back into bio. This is not just pure mech.
Yeah, he's losing so many mutas right there. He lost 9 already, but that tank count was just a little bit too much. Maybe he seemed like he was going to be able to do something, but he did not obliterate that army at all. Didn't have any Vipers, and yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble right now.
Well, I mean, he was giving up some supply, I think, a little bit intentionally, but he wanted to get more for that. You don't just give away the Roaches and the Hydras. You're supposed to kill a good chunk with it, expecting them to go down so you can make those Ultras.
Well, he's going to add 5 Ultras into this. Maybe he just wanted to trade a bit of his supply, but there was a lot of supply there to do so. The units lost, though, is pretty even between both of the players, so big counterattack here. Well, not counter, but just mutas being mutas.
Yeah, you don't call them attacks or counterattacks or sneaky moves. It's just mutas being mutas, and that's not too inaccurate. But the more they clump, the more worse than they need to be. Thors are out in full force, don't forget.
Yeah. But so many SCPs going down here.
I'm really worried about this. I mean, the Viper count is so good at dealing with tanks. Okay, great. Tanks get out of the equation, but because he's going to be able to make Marines, because he can potentially make Marauders, he's going to be able to go back to that transition where he kites. I've actually never seen a composition where it's Roach, Hydra, Ultra versus actual bio plus Thors and mech tanks. I mean, upgrades nonstop for both players this game.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I don't think I have either. Although the bio upgrades are a little bit behind, that's simply because he transferred back in, like you said. So it's not necessarily like, wait, he's getting +2 armor on his bio at 21 minutes right now. Like, usually you see a Terran at 3-3, but nope, it is weird kind of composition here. He already does have +2 attack on his mech units, so.
I mean, scans going down left, right. He sees the army flat out. He knows exactly what's there. The mutas, oops, sorry for this camera. The mutas are not quite numerous enough to be game winning in any capacity, but they will. Ooh, catch this medevac, maybe? Maybe?
Oh, I think he just missed it. Yeah, he
Yeah, he
sees it.
sees it.
There he goes. And not even going to get to unload any of the Marines. But this is kind of scary, though. Kelazhur, you know, he's got to that point. He's on 4 bases, making a 5th, and he has a maxed mech army. His army supply is 5 more, and the quality of his units are... that's a lot of Marines, actually. Whoa.
Temple, look at this one. Look at this one interloper with the army. It's a burrowed roach that's following the army.
Wow,
He sees exactly everything Kelazhur is doing, exactly where he's going. Way better than an overseer, way better than burrowlings. This one tunnel claw roach is like amazing.
That is great. Is he gonna go down? No. Oh, the scan's not gonna be there. He knows exactly what's up.
Okay, so the ultras are gonna die, and that without banelings, he actually can't deal with the Marines. I think the bio is gonna save him in this game. Blinding Cloud's coming down top of the tanks. He's got to back away with this, and he can because he's got the mobility of bio behind him.
Yes, but his bio, his army is only at +1, +2.
I think it's fine.
+1 against R8 Hydra though, that are on 2-3-2, 2-3.
Right, but look at this. This is the power of bio for you. He's gonna lose this fight, but look how much he kills from Daze. I guess the difference is, of course, Daze remax immediately, but I mean, for Kelazhur, that should have been a fight where he came in, killed a base, and got away.
Ultras. He's just gonna go ahead and just say, hey, that Yuki's looking pretty needing some love right now.
Gonna take a Yui, you know what I mean?
He's gonna make the Terran army do when he does see that, because
no, we got this. He was going Roach Hydras, then he hit a big Yui. Now he's going Ultras.
Oh snap, son!
I think though, despite the fact that that should have been a good engagement for Kelazhur, I didn't realize back at home he actually didn't have a lot of tech labs. This is all reactors, and the tech labs are still in the factories. He never fully transitioned back into the bio properly, so he doesn't have the capability to build the Marauders to deal with the Ultras.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not repairing the planetary either. Oh, this base should not have gone down so easily.
Yep, but this positioning here is really nice for Kelazhur, although he doesn't have that much supply. And that's the thing about this map, like, if you're going to try to funnel up there, Ling Bling Muta, yeah, I would really never do that. But R8 Hydra, hot damn, man. Rifkin, it's a whole different story.
This game is seriously being won one roach at a time. Daze just denied an entire base with one single roach. Blinding Cloud's coming down. That one roach earlier scouted the army. Ultra's coming full force. There's not enough SimCity to choke these through. That's what beats these big clumsy beasts, not DPS. Thor's coming to the front line. They're going to try and add some to the fire, but there's just too many Hydras behind this.
Far too much. The third is also going to go down. A little bit of his units getting split off.
This is over.
Absolute carnage, man. I think Daze is going to push on through here. That's it. GG. Well played. Wow.
So in this qualifying match, we get a really nice back and forth between these guys. We got to see Kelazhur, by the way, play significantly better than we've seen him play in the past. But he went for one of the single-handedly most difficult styles of Terran to play, and he actually didn't do it too poorly. It could have gone a million times better. Engagements, this and that, blah blah blah. But I still think he played that out really well. And I gotta be honest, I could see this going either way. He could tie this up. Maybe we go 1-1. Maybe this is 2-0. Whatever the case may be, I think. These guys showing that they're very well matched for one another, and that's
for sure, man.
That's when StarCraft hits that sweet spot, man. That's when it's good.
It's just a cool game to watch too, right? Like, it's just this R8 Hydra. It wasn't like a R8 Hydra game where you just see the Zerg, you know, like a 2-2 push and just win the game or something like that, or
yeah,
well, a little different, you know. It was.
Well, it's what you and I have both said, where we've never seen that style. I've cast thousands of games of StarCraft at this point. I've never seen that style, and that's always interesting to see too.
Indeed. Well, that was quite the game for sure. On one of the newer maps, of course, Foxtrot Labs. You showed us your deep satisfaction with, of course, playing on that map as well.
I hate that map.
But yeah, I really like that style from Daze. I think trying to go Ling Bling Muta is a little bit more difficult, especially with the style that Kelazhur was playing. So, but he must have been a little bit weirded out. Like, what is going on, right? Like, he didn't go the Swarm Host route. Maybe is that supposed to like bait Swarm Host turtle style? And then you have like a huge mobile bioforce.
I mean, the idea is that I think every Terran player in the game right now, the goal isn't Swarm Hosts or Ultras or Broodlords that you're trying to get the hurdle over. It's the Mutas.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I'm coming back to where I'm saying, like, that's what I think he did well that game, guys. The Mutas were shut down outright. You know, Those came out in full force pretty quick. He wanted to do harass. I think there's that one instance where he flew by the third and got a couple kills, but outside of that, I mean, they got nothing done. And that's where I think a lot of the strength in that game lied. The problem
Don't forget the medevac, Drifkin. That was an important medevac that it sniped.
Yeah, that's true. But I think the reason that game really fell apart, though, is the lack of scouting, not knowing that it was ultras in time, all the reactors instead of tech labs, blah, 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 blah. But guys, King Sejong Station, we'll talk about it more in a moment as we get into game number 2. Sorry about that, guys. Hotkeys got a little bit stuck, but we're back. Hello. Hi. We are, oops, that was right the first time, in game number 2 of this best of 3 in hashtag production.
Yeah.
That was a pretty awesome series, or game, I'm not going to lie. Horrible things went for both players, but that's what makes the game so amazing to watch. Small pause, please.
Kelazhur says, alright. Days is like, okay.
I guess this pause, please, is plausible.
It is? Ah, man.
I'm telling you, I should have been born. I should have been born A, black, and B, a rapper. I'm so close.
Come on, Riff. You got like the sick. It's always like, who is it? It doesn't matter, man. You can do it. You know, you could just be that rapper. That just like you just go and do it no matter what. I think it adds to it too. Like
Mom spaghetti, hands are steady.
I'm Rifkin. I'm a StarCraft2 caster, but the rhyme dropping master. Because when I'm Grandmaster, I'll play faster.
I'm the lifelong laster.
Chicka.
All right, but no,
we'll be a sick rap group, man.
I'm telling you, childhood obesity. It'll be the name of our album. I'm gonna drop that shit like it's hot. But okay, we are back at the game, and well, there's a pause. Let's go ahead and get the intros out of the way so we can get directly into the gameplay afterwards. Yeah. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, still as a very calm pond. That was terrible. It is the Red Zerg player from Castle Mountain Gamers. Days. So you got me all this poetic mood, Dad.
Yo, man, I'm telling you, I inspire, man.
Yo, I just called you Dad.
Did you really? I didn't even notice it. I was just like, yep.
Freudian slip.
There, Rifkin. There, Rifkin. I was gonna say, I'm inspiring you, man. I'm bringing out the your new calling. It's gonna be it. I'm gonna be the one that you know, I feel like I might be destroying your Base Trade TV because you're gonna not do casting anymore and start being sick rapper, but. Spawning in the top left corner, representing it is the Blue Terran Kelazhur.
All right, I give my decision on what that should be. What's your assumption that the clan tag is? We could have looked between games, but we're terrible people, so we didn't.
Ah, yes. GJLTD. Maybe we can even look now.
The Great Juggling Latinos to Destiny. Yo, oh no, that's actually really big.
What up? Oh, what happened?
Kelazhur's like straight up dying in real life. His dad left something cooking and went to sleep. Now he can barely breathe in the smoke.
Oh, snap. That's an ace Tempog right there, man. Yeah, man. That's big, actually. I've had that happen before. My mom did that once when she was cooking, like, I don't know what she was cooking. It was something on the stove, and I just started smelling a bunch of smoke, and I'm just like, what in the hell is going on? It's like, oops, I fell asleep. My bad.
Yeah, I can't even deal with burned toast. If I left something on a smoke cam, I would just probably be like, all right, I'm moving. I can't. The smell of it is like the worst part.
It's the worst smell, and yeah. No, they've got to take care of that. That's definitely something that good thing he smelled it.
You gotta do you.
You gotta do you, man. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, he definitely should get that taken care of.
Well, we'll see. I mean, this is. I really hope that's not going to be. No, don't just see. No, you have to take care of something like that. That's not something you. You know what? I'll take care of that later. Like, no, no, don't go. What are you? Oh, so irresponsible, Kelazhur.
Jeez.
I hope you lose this game swiftly so that you can go attend to your real life problems right now.
Oh my God, he's sitting there like. Just. Oh. You're just gonna see him just APM drop to zeros, like, dude.
All right, so I don't actually wish this guy ill, guys, but it is worth knowing this is a qualifying match, and he's down 1 at the moment. This is possibly Copa America Season 2 for him or not. Now, each season of Copa America isn't nearly as long as each season of WCS, so it's not like your career goes on hold and your life ends if you don't make it in. There's going to be another season of Copa America, guys, and there's going to be a grand season finale with a much, much larger prize pool. Each of these seasons has a $1,000 prize pool, with the big one at the end being, I believe, $15,000. Of course, you can check that out and see how wrong versus right I am on the Copa America website, copaamerica.starcraft2.com. But also, if you're here on Twitch, just scroll down below all the information, all the widgets. You can click her down there, and there's various Nightbot commands and our wonderful mods that can help figure out if you've got any questions whatsoever.
Whatsoever.
Saying what way?
What? Weird.
Cool.
Cool Whip.
Whiskey. All right, I'm done with that. But Days, okay, I really. Not only do I like the way he handled Game 1, he responded to everything Kelazhur did pretty much appropriately. You know, skipping past going to the Ultras, not deciding to go for Swarm Host. You see tanks, and sometimes that's the go-to in your mind. Like, okay, Swarm Host, Foxtrot Labs, let's do it. And I think, truthfully speaking here, there's a lot of little ways for Foxtrot Labs to be a good Swarm Host map. But... You know, the decision-making, I think, reflected really well that he's got a good chance in this game, too. Kelazhur, as I said, though, he went for the gold, man. He was that Icarus? You know, flew too close to the sun.
Close to the sun, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he went for one of the hardest compositions for a Terran player to balance, and he almost made it work. Almost made it work.
And the thing is, too, like, there was a big attack with the Rotages without the Vipers that I was very worried about, and he held it, right? When, I think it was on his third.
Yeah, there's like no wall. He held position for the SCVs. There's like the third was exposed. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that should have gone wrong for Kelazhur that didn't. But
yeah,
I think one thing is I would like to see him play standard. His control really didn't seem that bad. The decision making just was what it felt was a little off. So maybe give him better units, something he's more comfortable with, less I guess try-hardy with the composition, and maybe we see a much better game out of him. Because that really was a good game. Oh, that Reaper.
Oh, no.
You know what? Kelazhur here. Reaper. No, hang on. Dude, I'm going to pull you by ear. You're busy sitting here playing through smoke. I'm praising you on your control, and you lose the Reaper to make me look bad? Son of a... No. That shouldn't have happened, though, in all seriousness.
Indeed, man. Oh, that's actually really big. Because he didn't opt to make it. Oh, did he? Okay, he made a second one at least, but...
Well, I'd say it's almost bigger because he made the second one. Because now he doesn't have any momentum to do anything with, and he's made basically a second useless Scouting Reaper.
And his follow-up, if he does decide to go for Hellions, won't be as powerful, and Days is just probably feeling great about that. You know, he opened up Gasless, and one of the biggest things in Gasless is that Hellion follow-up with the Reapers can be a little bit more difficult if you don't make as many Queens. So, taking that third shouldn't be as much of a problem. And holding it shouldn't be that contested, to be honest, or as contested as it could be, I guess. What is it, like 2 Reapers and like 4 Hellions, and once it gets to like 6, it gets pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that once. It's actually interesting that we are going back to that more old school strategy. It's not just that Kelazhur may or may not do it, but across all regions, we're seeing players kind of realize that, okay, Hellion Banshee, kind of a little bit better than the YOLO Hellbat moves, though, that were like the flavor of the week, right?
Yeah, as soon as that patch went. You still see it every once in a while, but yeah, I mean, people have been, I think a lot of Zergs have also been going for this gasless style into Roaches, and they'll just drop a Warp Torrent around like 6 minutes anyway, just for safety.
I think it's very similar. It's very similar to the Oracle. It's one of those things where it's a danger, it's a constant danger, but if they don't do it, it's also not crazy big.
Yeah, for sure, man. But here we go. You know, this is not really that scary looking for.
It's like the fight against the place all over again.
I saw a replay of this once. I know how to do it.
The War of 2014.
The hatchery does win for now, though. But more Hellions are being. Whoa, maybe not actually.
Well, I like the wall off here. This is actually keep the Hellions from going to the natural, and that's always the big deal. You never want these to run past and get those 14 drone crispy fries at the natural
Definitely
base.
a terrible feeling. But yeah, once again, Roach style getting the third. I wonder if we'll see a Hyun-esque type of Roach style where you do go ahead and saturate that third before pushing out with a bunch of Roaches.
Man, I can't talk about Hyun right now.
Why not?
He played this amazing ZVZ versus Life earlier, but Life won because he's even more amazing. And I love Hyun to death, so it's kind of like...
Damn, I brought the feels, man.
You brought the feels, man. You just remind me of my dog dying, you know? That's
Oh,
not cool.
no! Okay, I was going to say, speaking of things dying, I thought he was actually going to get a very nice run by.
Yeah, that was really close. Those roaches were in the perfect spot to deter that.
Indeed.
But,
very scary situation sometimes when your roaches are about to pop and that happens.
But Daze is doing this again with that early burrow technique with the roaches. This is kind of, again, what I was alluding to, guys, where they're not exactly Korean players. These aren't crazy metagame builds, but this is that level of aggression that you don't see classically out of a lot of North American players, out of a lot of the European players. But with this burrow tech, with the +1 time coming out and 7 more roaches, he's not going to be sitting here on the base looking for Hellions much longer.
No, man, and he's not even sad. Yeah, 7 more roaches on the way. Gonna hit with 1-1 instead of opting to try to like max out on them. He's just gonna go for a 1-1 timing most likely, and I actually think that Kelazhur might be all right. He's been making Marauders pretty consistently, but he has the means of making a siege tank, but he hasn't opted to make one yet. I'm wondering if that might be a mistake if he doesn't recognize the direness of the situation. Because here come the roaches, Riff.
Yeah, I mean, this little run by is meant to kill some workers, but he's gonna see there's no workers, and that's gotta strike him as strange. Yeah.
Yes.
But the most he can do right now is pre-pull SCVs. He doesn't have time to build extra bunkers.
Yeah. Well, here comes the push, man. Oh my God. Yeah, he's gonna have to really be careful here.
Okay, so hang on. He's gonna back off for a second. He doesn't quite have the momentum to just break in here. He's going to try to do his reclimb, but he's got that speed that finally kicks in too. Gets on top of the bunker. One more volley will take the bunker down. This is quite scary now because the bio has no medevacs.
Medevacs, exactly. There are no medevacs on the field right now, but the positioning here for Kelazhur is pretty nice. But eventually they're going to get stemmed. Oh my! He's
got to be careful. There's a turret there. You can clearly see this.
Yeah. And that siege tank is out now, I believe, or on the high ground.
I'm gonna just burrow. You're never gonna see me, neener boober.
I saw that too. Yeah, definitely. You know, it's very nice if that turret.
He could have pulled drones into that. I really don't like that he's actually running. Running's gonna get him killed. If he had just pulled the drones to attack. Oh,
the drones too.
Oh, the sick burrow.
Yep. Even if he would have forced a scan, I mean that's a scan. So, these Hellions are not gonna get away though.
I think though at the same time he didn't realize he had burrow right away because he did try and split. He did. Then he's kind of like, oh right. The
first burrow in front of the turret, then like the I don't have burrow. Wait a minute, I just showed him I had burrow, so wait, okay, I'm gonna go and burrow my drones now.
Wait, I'm off on I play Zerg so scarcely. Burrows R or U as default?
I believe it's R and B.
For unburrow. That's right. Okay, I take that back. I should make. I was gonna go towards another UE joke, but nope, denied.
Nope. Just that. Got that intro high five, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah, leave me hanging. Not cool, bro. We do have a Raven coming out once again, and this Raven last game got picked off early, so it wasn't that effective. But the Raven holds a lot of really key features that, I mean, its spells don't seem that fantastic, guys, but you have to consider the auto turrets, like I pointed out before, huge aggro dumps. A Roach Wave wastes an entire volley shooting it down. That's your Marines and Marauders getting ahead. Seeker missiles, while they're explosive, I don't even need to explain this, but the point defense drone is really cool because it affects the Mutalisk Glaive Worms. It affects the Queen shots. It affects the Roach. Well, it doesn't affect the Roach, sorry, but the Hydras.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not even doing Roach Hydra this game. It looks like he's going to be going into Roach Bane and then, I don't know, Roach Bane Muta?
You know, this is actually kind of cool because he's going to break down the back rocks. And Kelazhur, he's going to hear this. He'll see this coming, of course. But the big thing that I don't think he's expecting is the Banelings. Because you have Roach Baneling as that bust, that all-in the early game. You don't really have Roach Bane in the mid game. At this point, you're going Hydras, you're going Mutas, you're going Ultralisks, right?
Yeah.
So this might just catch him off guard.
And he stopped siege tank production. He's actually only on 1. Gonna add 1 more now, but it's a little bit of a scary situation for Roach Bane without any Widow Mines or siege tanks. How is he gonna be able to hold it?
I really want to see some Baneling landmines with the way he got that early burrow. The thing too about this, guys, he's got to be careful he spreads the creep though. Because Baneling landmine placement is so critical. If it's on creep, you have to assume every Terran player is scanning the creep because they want to clean up the creep tumors. They'll see your Banelings, what a waste. So the best place to put them are areas specifically you don't have creep.
Yes, very important because Terran is obviously going to just scan anyway. But Even towards the edges, sometimes questionable. But you know, you want to put them in strategic locations where you maybe the attack path.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow, okay, first off, that medic just startled me. I'm sorry, no idea why, but medevac. But he scans and he sees two big things. One was he saw the 5th base being taken, right? And he also saw there's a ton of Banelings morphing in. So he may have been unaware of the Banelings before, now fully aware. This Raven,
damn sure.
well, this Raven also awkwardly finds all the Banelings.
Oh wow, that is actually a big hit. Now he has it in his mind, you know. I think that first element of surprise. The first element of surprise is very important for the first burrowed Banes. But now it's. You don't typically see Ravens actually that much in ZVT unless you are going for mech, but yeah. I like it.
Layered into the army here pretty nicely, totally by accident of course, but the Roaches of the Banelings pretty set to try and take a fight. He's going to go through the left side though. Wall has been erected in the back. I love that he put barracks in front of this, but sadly the depots are going to be the weak spot in this wall. Yeah,
and there's a siege tank there to ward him away, and hey man, 3 bases, you know, Kelazhur has been mining on it, and this 4th is only mining the gas, which is good. The infestation pit has just now begun, so his mid-game kind of push was a little thwarted, I think. He did probably want to get more done with this, these Roaches and Banes. But with that Hive Tech being able to get added, I don't know, what do you think we'll see? He's, see Marine-ish bio-tank, I guess. Really lacking on Widow Mines, so I feel like...
He's doing a great job of catching these drops. I feel for Kelazhur right now because this is a situation where you don't feel like comfortable walking down the middle of the map because you know there's Banelings possibly waiting for you under the ground. So he's trying to do these drops and he's getting caught at every turn. And a big part of this is look at this crazy Overlord spread. I mean, you guys, when you see players like MMA and Polt and such, they make that one Viking to clear up Overlords. It's not because they're looking for free kills or to be cost effective. It clears out the site so you can get those medevacs down the left side of the map, the right side of the map, but... This is pretty ridiculous. This spread is almost like map levels. I mean, look at the creep spread, the Overlord vision itself. He sees half the map.
He knows exactly the 4th timing for Kelazhur, you know, if he decides to take it. Big Mutaflocker is going to go into the natural, and how many of the SCVs even died? I didn't see, but I don't know, 17 total. But that's from the beginning of the game, of course.
Yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, the Mutaflockers are... The role of Mutalisks in this matchup, guys, is a lot less about dealing crazy damage until you have about between 20 and 30. Prior to that, it's about just the harass. So he's sitting around 22. This is an okay amount, but really nothing too devastating. But this might be devastating. The Marines are not split for this fight. Banelings just roll in through everything, and now he's trying to split in the back end, but there's a lot of Roaches still standing combined with these. A secret missile soon to go off. It's actually going to hit pretty hard.
Really nice hit. I mean,
that actually was a fantastic hit.
It was a beautiful hit, actually. The mutas were clumped up, and everything was actually in the same spot there. So, will round number 2 be enough to seal the deal, or is Kelazhur going to be able to stabilize and get his 4th going, too?
I think a large margin of the time, too, you usually see that Seeker Missile because it's awkwardly placed not in the heat of battle, and you segment that one Roach off and nothing gets hit or hurt, but that was definitely a panic moment there because we saw Daze trying to split that, but he's just kind of like, okay, I guess I'm taking a hit. Oops.
Yeah. It's just like he like had this moment where he's just like standing there like
every
he's probably just selecting his Raven to do the Seeker Missile or something.
Yeah, I mean every Terran player tries to get those Seeker Missiles off, but rarely do they. But this is the number I was talking about before, guys. 30 mutas. This is about where Daze needs to be. This is where he can actually start fighting the Marines. This is where he can actually start fighting Thors with the mutas.
Oh,
that's pretty much one shot a turret.
Yeah, he's about to finish +2 upgrades on his flyer, so there's that big old flock, he's way out of position.
That was actually a fantastic way to fly in here. There was this huge, by staying spread out, it guarantees no Thor would have wrecked his face by accident. And as we saw, he just one-shots the turrets. It's not even a close contest. Now the Thor gets involved, he's probably going to want to back away. Of course, there's always this base you can try and swing to, but... awkward left, awkward right. Drop attempts to go down, but man, that's not going to happen. There's too many Roaches. There's too many Banelings.
Yeah, that Roach Bane count is really nice, at least for what's going on, to deal with little small skirmishes of bio. But Ultralisk didn't come in here as well, and I think, I don't know, man, this base being taken by Kelazhur, when you do go with that, you know, Ultras as well, is it a little more difficult to get a good engagement if you're trying to break this base there?
Yeah, I don't know, it's really going to be hard to say, because, I mean, right now Kelazhur, he's got the potential for good production. It's so weird to say, I mean... so he might just have this army that Daze breaks, maybe it's not. A lot of the times you have these sort of endgame forces that, like last game, equalize, and then it becomes about remaxing. And as long as you're on top of your injects, a Zerg player is going to out-remax anybody, so it's It's really up to Kelazhur to take the best defensive fight of his life. The problem is, he can't segment back towards the main, and these mutas are about to get on top of the production. As soon as he start picking up the tech labs, as soon as he start picking up the reactors, as we see.
Oh, you know, that's actually really smart, especially because if he were to go for those tech labs, he's transitioning into Ultra as well. So
Yeah. Stop him,
there would be
Marauders
no
would be
way.
big. But, oh, getting +3 armor upgrades would be bigger. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's really
Does he
gonna hurt.
realize where the other engineering bay is? If he gets both of those and gets his 3-3
Well,
before Terran does, oh my god.
Well, I mean, Kelazhur's already got level 3 weapon upgrades, but losing the
Oh,
armor
okay.
is a big deal for Lings getting involved with, especially because he's going for adrenal glands. Widowmine's
Okay.
gonna get some decent hits off the Banelings. Don't get hit. Never mind. One big explosion. Holy mother of God. The Ultras also go down, and there's really not a lot of health left on these Marines. The Mutas may just come in here, and they might save the day. The base goes down, but the army dwindles.
Wow, and the medevacs are really low on energy. There's only 2 medevacs that are here. And, wow.
This is actually... Losing
That's
the medevacs
bad.
is kind of big because he lost the reactor on the starport. He doesn't have time to rebuild it because he needs to keep producing medevacs.
Yeah, and he's, I don't know, he's not mining gas at his 4th. So he's going to be limited by that. He's not even really mining gas at his, 3rd either, but he's managing his economy very well. Just the fact that he has to remake those units that he probably didn't want to, he's going to find it a little bit more difficult to keep up. Whoa. Nice scan. Gonna get some burrowed banes. But what do we have here? You know what, though? The army value was really not that far apart from each other.
It's, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about before, though. Like, it's just going to come down to constantly equalizing and who can max out better. And
Yeah,
Daze, as we can
excuse
see,
me.
is hitting that max point much better. The harass from Kelazhur is going to be his advantage in this game, but as we see, when you just start putting down spine crawl after spine crawl all over the map, when you've got these mutas cleaning up the medevacs, I mean, that's really a non-issue. You strip away Kelazhur's one advantage in the game.
Yeah, and even like getting that upgrade lead is really nice. He just now began the +3 upgrade again for his armor.
Well,
he actually finished this like plating, I think.
There's something Daze did that we actually completely glanced over, and he did get pathogen glands leading towards infestors, of course. If there's one thing that's really going to make these ultras and banelings even better, it's going to be fungal growths.
Yeah.
Lock everything in place. I mean, the only reason Marauders beat ultras, guys, it's not about DPS race, it's that they can kite.
Yep. Very important. If you hold that bio army in place, they have nowhere to run. But
He's
this
going
position
ham.
I don't like.
Muta's
Oh,
gutting the
he
natural while this is happening. All he has to do is keep the army there at the 5th, or 4th, I guess technically for a Terran player. Natural base will actually
Goes
go down
down.
entirely.
That's an orbital for you, so that's less mules that he's able to call. He's really low on SCVs for this stage, so orbital command that you can kill is so important. Oh man, this is actually looking a little bit more grim for Kelazhur. He has a great army, but this is it. Like, he has to make something happen if he's gonna try.
Yeah, this is
wow.
one decent fungal. That's hardly something to get excited about, but
It's a warning shot, Riff. Says you come up here, I will stick you into the ground. The roots will come
GTFO.
up. Yeah.
That's a good
Oh,
shot, though. That lands the army. That lets him take the
Beautiful
engagement.
fungals.
Ultra's leading the charge, but they don't want to go up that ramp. He doesn't know what's up there waiting for him.
Yeah, it is. We'll be hard pressed to get greeted by these 2 Widow Mines
what?
and a good old Terran Concave.
But look at the money right now. This is where it gets key. Losing that natural base, a lot of gas gone. There's a lot of minerals still actually standing there. He's starting to mine out the 3rd. Of course, if you take a 4th, it starts off fine, but as a champ player, you mine it out very quickly with those mules. And Kelazhur's bank does not exist.
At all. He's just gonna try
this
to get a
mute
great
is-
engagement. His SCV count's
Dude.
pretty weak.
This is killing me. He keeps flying past the overlords and just expects nothing to respond. So, I mean, the mutants are here to kill all these medevacs. The drop actually might be better off left stranded instead of cleaned up, but there's just no Marines in here, so everything
getting
dies
the medevacs.
anyways.
Even if that army does, these units do survive. Still getting those medevacs, keeping that count down. And
Yeah.
big engagement though here if in the middle by the 4th base of Kelazhur.
I don't think he's going to push into it.
Yeah.
I
Just
like
kind of.
I like the Broodlords, though. You know what the Broodlords are going to do that's just absolutely magical tempo?
What is that, Rifkin?
They're going to eat all the Widow Mines.
Ah, yeah, you were right. That's very important. And this Infestor is about to eat some Widow Mines in a second. too.
Oh!
Bam!
That sucks. He'll deny another base mining for Kelazhur, and this is so much more essential that Kelazhur gets a base mining than it is for Daze at this point. Because Daze has got money to work with. Like, the main drop is going to get dropped, and it might even get killed because there's no supply to remax with. Well, actually, there is now. But, I mean, this is not an important drop at all in the grand scheme of things.
Just gonna try to. I mean, maybe you get the spawning pool, I guess, but Where's the greatest spire's not even in the main, so.
Yeah, there's nothing really truly essential here. You can rebuild the spawning pool pretty easily.
Whoa, big push up the middle to the 4th base. And
he's doing this without support, though. This is suicidal for Ultras.
He's forcing the issue here. He doesn't need to do this at all. He didn't even wait for his infestors.
Yeah, that was a really big throw for Days. I mean, really big, guys. You got to understand. That's his bank right there. Look at him. He's forced remax on 8 Ultras. That's not going to work. He needs more lings with this.
He can't make lings because he got his spawning pools sniped.
He needs lings. He needs banelings. He needs more infestor support. That was a huge throw and a huge waste of units.
I think it was just being more important to force that 4th to never be able to mine than to just push up with nothing.
100% agree.
Oh well, this is gives Kelazhur a little bit of room to come back into this game because now he's going to be mining from his 4th, and the army
was going to be mining from his 4th. Sup?
Yeah.
Mutas being mutas.
Yeah, mutas being mutas. Mutas going mute. They're gonna die actually because the bio.
This is killing me here. Days has had such good control of the game. This has been his game.
He's starting to think that
he wasted the banelings on the planetaries.
Might have just filtered over into
He's gonna lose the fungals. He's gonna lose the infestors. These aren't gonna live to see another day. The Ultra's also gonna go down. Kelazhur getting a way back into this game, however, or perhaps overstimming just a little bit. I don't know. Kills the Ultras, holds the base, and the planetary lives to see another day. We did have the mutas go back in for round 2, but let's be honest, Tempo. This is absolutely horrible for a Zerg player.
Yeah, and now there's nothing to contest this push from Kelazhur. Yeah, there's only a few medevacs with low energy, but JJ is stalled. He can't hold. He doesn't have anything. Damn.
That kills me to watch someone throw away such a big lead, but at the same time, respect goes to Kelazhur because he kept a calm head. In several situations where he might have otherwise been out, he stuck it in. That's a double entendre because we were talking about that earlier. But that will send us to game number 3 for this qualifying match. And I gotta say, if anyone's earned it, it's this guy at this point.
Yeah, for sure. And we were talking about how they were evenly matched, in that last game. Not just the King Sejong one, but the one that was on Foxtrot Labs. You can't just be careless when you're playing a player that is of equal level of you. Equal level as you, rather, but yeah.
Well, I think
that was a weird.
Oh, hello? What?
Yo, sorry, I said, that was a weird decision to push up there with the infestors in the back.
Yeah. But this kind of holds back to what I was talking about before. I think a lot of people probably watched game 1 and thought like, Riffin, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? Because I said he was taking good engagements when he lost the game, but it wasn't a good engagement in the sense that like it was going to win him the game. But I think last game reflects too. There's a lot more of those situations where his army was getting wiped, but he was still coming out ahead. And different scenarios, different strokes, different folks, whatever. I kind of think that Kelazhur's got the decision-making power to win the series. Whether he's got the control and whether he's got the breath because he's busy dying from smoke.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe this is a different strategy for Days, just the waiting out.
Yeah, just go swarm him, stall it out, wait for him to suffocate and tap over. It was brought up earlier. I do want to stress this right now, guys. We'll show you in game. No lying here. These are both Master League players. This isn't Platinum. This isn't Bronze. It's not even Diamond, even though I think all those leagues are open for Copa America. But we do have 2 Master players going at it here, so... I'm going to look up see what his clan tag actually means.
Oh, yeah. I actually typed it into Google, but I didn't actually look.
Oh, this doesn't help much more. It's the GJL Microgamers Esports.
Esports, yep. I don't know what GJL stands for, though.
Well, the map is going to start, guys. And actually, it's worth noting, since we're talking about the ranks and leagues and all that, not just Masters, but Grandmasters in their own right, previous seasons.
Yep, because, the Grandmaster League isn't open yet. And, we're going to get a game on Capelina.
So I know he's not here, but I gotta pay some respect for Fear Dragon.
Yeah.
It says in chat, if Kelazhur is annoyed by the smoke, maybe he should stop being on fire!
Oh snap! That was well played, Fear Dragon. Shout out to Fear Dragon, one of the great saviors of NA esports.
Yeah, isn't he part of repairing in or something like that? This is his tournament.
I'm not sure. I don't know any of the details, but
Repairing in, breaking out.
oh my god!
Anyways,
oh,
guys, here we are back in action game number 3. This is tied up now 1-1, and once again, I want to stress this is a qualifying spot. One of these guys will get to compete in Season 2 Copa America. Chance of getting $1,000 in the prize pool. Well, actually, I think it's like 500 for first or something, but still, also points letting you compete in that final season finale at the end of the year with a much significant larger prize pool. I'm Rifkin, joined tonight by Tempo, and scouting what looks like a penis so far in the top middle part of Catalina from Chaos Latin Gamers. It's Days.
And his opponent spawning in the southern Florida-ish located base. It is GJLTD's Kelazhur. Hot damn.
Alright, so inappropriateness aside.
In the middle.
Now it just looks like a I don't know, an arrow. Anyways, this is a funny map, guys. For those who don't know Catalina real quick, it's got a lot of dead space in the main. We'll take a quick tour around the map while we wait for things to kick off here. A lot of dead space. Great for drops, great for Nidus Worms, whatever you want it to be. It's got a very secure natural base. Kind of reminds me of Ohana once upon a time. And of course, you've got weird thirds depending if you want to take it over here or the middle of the map. But it's a 3-player spawn map, and as you can see, Kelazhur scouts the wrong location first. That's okay. He'll go with the Reaper to the other one. But there's one key thing on this map that I'm really excited to watch people use, and that's there's a lot of great spots for siege tanks on this map. And I don't mean like okay spots. I mean there are some fantastic spots for siege tanks. Assume you take a third out here. You can siege up here in this little nook. It takes everything forever to run around the ramps to get down to the low ground. Blings, of course, obviously can't melee from the top of the cliff.
Get a good surround on it.
So there's a lot of scenarios where maybe tanks would come into play, and that was the case and still is for some of the maps. I'm really excited to see how this season plays out. I want to see the Terran plays. I want to see the Koreans. I want to see the best players use and abuse tanks so that it catches on for the rest of the world.
No, man. Absolutely not. I'm a Zerg player. That would hurt my soul. Hurt my soul. But yeah, I agree. Seeing the differences in the meta because of the maps. Oh, be careful. Do not lose that Reaper like last game. That is one day you do not want history to repeat itself.
Why'd you have to say anything?
I'm sorry, man. That is what it is, though.
Oh, but without that second one at home, it's coming in a moment's time. This SCV going to be taken off the command center for just a moment here.
Yeah, and this is the most annoying thing. If he gets that SCV, too, oh my god, he actually could. Come on, nibble, one more nibble. One more. You're hungry, Zergling. Get your food, man. You get it. Aww.
So the thing is, guys, there's some players who actually, they'll make 8-lings in total, 2 to defend at home for the Reaper and 6 to go across the map. When you do that, not only do you kill the SCV, usually you get a good amount of damage on the command center, or the Reapers have to kite you forever to deal with it, and it buys you all the time in the world to keep the national base from going down. It's a huge denial for a Terran player, not because it's a base that gets delayed, but it's because it's an orbital that also gets delayed, which means the mules are off, the energy regen takes longer to get in, and quite frankly, you can miss a whole 1 to 2 mule rotations in the course of an entire game just due to a small amount of Ling harass in the early
Little
game.
thing like that, yeah.
Not
definitely something that would pay for itself.
Oh, that build cancel though.
Yeah.
So
Can you get off? Oh, he could have got out that way. He decided to try to escape with that first Reaper down the natural side, but I didn't realize you can get up from the south side.
Yeah, that by the way, just another siege tank location behind that mineral line, covers your drops as you put them in the main. There's not going to be creep spread this way, so you'll actually have a way to fight off of creep in your opponent's main. There's a lot of cool stuff about this map, but taking the third
I like it a lot, actually, quite a bit.
Well, this is really ballsy. He takes the third towards his opponent. I mean,
I know, yeah, that's
there are some Zerg players I know that love being aggressive, and they choose to expand towards their opponent on purpose because it means creep spread gets out faster. Your reinforcement points focus around one base more solidly, I guess. But I don't know. As aggressive as we've seen Days be, I don't like this.
I was wondering, yeah, I feel like that may be the case because he is putting down that Roach Warren, but only one Evo chamber this time, so
Man,
this may be what? I don't know.
He's bleeding units, man. He's losing too much to the Queens. The Reaper went down just a second ago.
Yeah, that's how many Reapers already. 2 Reapers lost this game.
I mean, it's supposed to be 3 Reapers and 6 Hellions. That's the magic follow-up push, but 1 Reaper and 4 Hellions is the definition of lackluster.
Underwhelming.
just while we're waiting for this to go on, Temple mentioned it before, guys. To explain, those who don't know, at each season of StarCraft 2, it resets everyone's ranks, of course. And the Grandmaster ladder stays closed for about 1 to 2 weeks. This is to encourage more playing, so you get your MMR up and maybe you beat it. Because Grandmaster is the only league that is incredibly locked. You know, you can have an infinite amount of Masters players if there's an infinite amount of total players in StarCraft 2, but Grandmaster is limited.
Only the top 200, and you have to wait for someone to drop out of it.
Yeah, and not to mention there's a good 50 of them that's kind of attained through not savory methods.
Yeah.
Cheating!
Yeah. Boosting.
Well, we get the, I don't think that's a full wall off for Kelazhur. Yeah, he's one depot.
This one
that could be awkward.
That would have sucked if he didn't realize it. No bunker, of course, here either, you know, so he's saying, you can come at me, you know, I'm not scared.
You know, on Nimbus, actually, when I was first learning the map, when it came out, I didn't realize you still need 2 depots unless you spawn in one particular location. So I put the barracks down, I put the depot down, it looked like a full wall off, Lings just ran by, and I was like, I'm not even dealing with this, GG.
Just leave.
Like, you're just like, yeah, this is not happening. This is...
Yep. You learned from that game that
oh my God.
Is the case, so it's like, alright, I don't need points for this game, I just got that knowledge, and
both
just gonna write that one off. Towards
Kelazhur, yeah, this is so ballsy. Now this is okay for Terran players. There's a little bit more forgiveness because you're gonna have siege tanks up, right? Zerg players don't have the same defensive line that Terran players do, so that's what kind of lets Terran players do this. But
the distance from their thirds, right? It's like, oh my God,
it's so short. It's Viking out of Kelazhur. By the way, this was a huge difference from last game.
It's already got 2 Overlord kills.
Yeah, strips vision away most importantly. But as he comes over here, Kelazhur. It's the same scenario as last time, Tempo. It doesn't have a whole hell of a lot to defend with.
He doesn't have anything, man. Oh, he did put up a bunker, though.
Yeah, that's...
Even borrowing that roach at the... Oh, no, you Hellions, you drunk, go home. What are you doing?
They were supposed to go snipe off the drones to distract him and take advantage of the roaches being out of position, but unable to do that. Does have stim, though. This is a big deal. Bros within range of the turret once again.
But he gets in here.
You know,
force out another stim.
Credit to Kelazhur, though, guys. This is not like a typical turret. He does this very much intentionally because he knows his opponent goes for a burrow.
Yes, that's very cool, adapting as well. But oh my God, at the third, there we go. Dave's forgetting that he does have burrow once more.
Yeah,
but he remembers it in time.
There's only 2 workers. Not that big of a deal.
It was a little scary point. If I feel like if Kelazhur was paying a bit more attention there.
Oh, losing the overseer.
But he's focusing on not dying.
Well, hang on. Losing overlords is understandable. You don't want to lose that overseer though. That's your changelings. That's your contaminant. Yeah, it's gas.
Well, I think the most important thing about this push here from Daze is that he does force Kelazhur back into 2 bases. Forcing a scan out as well for this borrowed roach is going to be pretty annoying.
Yeah. And you know what really sucks for Terran players on this map too is that, you know, Roach Edge is really strong in its own right. But once you add Vipers into the mix, it becomes even scarier. And this is a map where no matter where you fight from, there are going to be odd little chokes. It's not exactly the most spread out map. So throwing down 2 Blinding Clouds suddenly segments off half of the area you can fight in. That's no good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Roach Hydra will be the choice here for Daze. And you know, what upgrades is a Terran player, and he's on 1-1. 2-2's not on the way. But the siege tank production is also continuing, so that's important. Oh, big drop here at the third of Daze, though.
I don't know. The siege tank production may or may not be important. I mean, a lot of times you watch some of the best players lose to Roach Hydra with siege tanks. That's because,
them, right?
Yeah, I mean, Roach Hydra is such this crazy brute force technique where siege tanks don't really cut it. In fact, when you get to the late game, yes, you need to have siege tanks, but it doesn't feel like any player, Korean or otherwise, has found out the magic number that you need to deal with Roach Hydra.
You need to deal with it, right?
Yeah,
it's mainly about peeling your opponent apart with drops and whatnot all the time. Constant aggression, never allowing them to have that upgrade lead, yeah. You don't want to attack them with the upgrade lead. And with the 2-2 not on the way, I'm a little bit nervous here for Kelazhur.
Yeah, we're also seeing a lot more success with just having a heavier medevac count. I mean, to explain to everybody real quick, Roach Hydra doesn't really have a direct counter to it. You can't build more Marauders versus more Marines. You just kind of need more units in general.
Stuff. Yeah. And wait it and hopefully not die and have your upgrades tie or surpass that of your Zerg opponent.
Yeah, and the greatest weakness to this army as well, it does have a crazy amount of damage associated with it. All Roach Hydra is high DPS, low burst. So that's why medevacs can sustain units through their fire very effectively.
Yeah, and Kelazhur's trying this approach here. Just now starting his +2/+2, getting +1 on his vehicles, so definitely will be continuing that. Siege tank production, perhaps?
Mayhaps.
Oh, man. Oof, this is the stage of the game where it gets a little bit scary. Is he going to be able to utilize his timing?
He wanted to sandwich this. Comes in from the left side really nicely, but here comes the right side. Oh, where are you guys running into us? But the siege tank's doing a lot of damage. However, not quite enough damage as Daze just pushes through. His supply remains max as he builds 9 Hydras and 15 Roaches behind this. Absolutely decimates the base. A huge drop
in for Daze. For Kelazhur.
Yeah, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, man. I don't think so.
I think the Roaches and Hydras coming out are going to clean this up. I mean, as long as they don't go in one at a time, of course.
The natural is undefended. There's nothing here.
These things are defending. You got 7 workers in total.
Oh my god.
6 more. That's not that great.
I thought it was going to be a lot more devastating, but
there's no tanks up in the high ground either. Oh god. He's
they're in the third location.
Centers?
Oh no. He's in trouble. I don't know, man. I think this is it. I think Daze is going to overwhelm here.
Yeah, well, I think he'll hold off his first wave because he's pulling SCVs, but those SCVs are now gone for the second wave, for the follow-up, no longer here. Tanks being repositioned back to the main, but as we see, he just walks away from it. Siege Tank's limited by range and immobility. Gonna snipe off this command center. This is huge.
That's another command center goes down. The bio is on less upgrades. There's no high ground vision here for Daze, though, but maybe he doesn't care anymore, man.
Well,
he's just throwing all of his units.
This is what I said. He doesn't. This first wave might get held off, but that's kind of it, right? Like, that's the first wave. Roaches get the high ground vision now to shoot the tanks, starting to snipe these off one at a time.
That's all she wrote, I think, man.
Yeah, last tank about to go down.
31 SCVs, 104 army supply to 27, and that's all in medevacs pretty much. I think we have ourselves a qualifier.
Yeah,
Kelazhur, third player, yeah.
You know, he played this way better than we saw him in the past. He actually played this really well, in my opinion. But Daze just played this much, much better. His remax potential was insane. GG. Absolutely deserves to be playing Copa America Season 2. Congratulations to him.
Well played. For sure.